I tried making a watercolor pop-up Christmas card for the first time, and here's how I did it. Start by cutting an A4 size watercolor paper in half. Mine is a little bigger than A4, but I took the measurements from an A4 so that I can make it the same width as yours. So it's a little over 15 centimeters or 6 inches wide. Alternatively, you could use just blue cardstock for the background instead of making a painted background. In which case you can skip the painting part. The folding and cutting we'll do later might be difficult with watercolor paper. The paper I'm using is 300 GSM, so it's pretty thick. Tape it down on a hard flat surface with masking tape. You can remove a bit of the adhesive by sticking the tape on the desk or something first, so it's less likely to rip the paper when you peel it off. Find the vertical midpoint of the paper and mark it lightly with a pencil so it won't be too visible in the finished card. This is the horizon line between the sky and the ground. Get out your watercolors and brushes. Or actually, let's first trace a circle on the top right or the top left of the paper for the moon. Use a guide with a circle of a diameter of about 2.5 centimeters or 1 inch and trace it lightly with a pencil. Now paint the top half of the watercolor paper dark blue for a night sky. Leave the circle white for the moon. Add enough water to the paint to make it blend nicely, but if you're painting on thin watercolor paper, it might start buckling if you add too much water. You can make the top part a little darker than the lower part of the sky. Now let's paint the moon yellow. I added saturated yellow paint in the middle of the circle and then spread it with a clean wet brush, leaving a white border between the moon and the sky. So the blue and yellow won't mix while they're still wet. And there'll be a kind of a white glow around the moon. And letting the yellow blend unevenly like this also makes the moon look a little more realistic. Now the lower half is supposed to be snow, so you can paint some light blue shadows on the white. Next, let's add some snowfall. You can use white gouache, poster paint, acrylic or white ink for this. Add water to make the paint more liquidy. Use 2 brushes and the one you dip in the paint should be somewhat of a small brush. And then let's start tapping that brush on the other brush, on top of the painting, across the sky, and the splatters will create falling snow. After that, let the painting dry, or dry it faster with a hairdryer, but that might spread out the white dots, so be careful with that. Now let's do the cutting. Peel off the tapes and turn the paper around. Fold the paper in half and measure and mark 2 centimeters or 0.8 inches from each side. Draw 3 centimeter or 1.2 inch lines up from the marks and cut those lines open. Fold that middle piece, make a crease and then open the folded paper and bring that fold to the front. Next, let's measure 1.5 centimeters or 0.6 inches from the edge of that previous fold on both sides. And draw another mark at 2.5 centimeters or 1 inch. And then draw 1 centimeter or 0.4 inch lines up and then cut those open. Turn the card around and do the same on the other side. And fold these 1 centimeter flaps too. This is the base of the card. But it's going to look kind of funny when the card is closed, so let's add a backing. You can use some type of cardstock. I chose dark blue paper. Let's cut it to size. Fold it in half. Maybe make it a little bigger than the watercolor painting because mine turned out to be too small. And then glue the back of the watercolor paper to the cardstock with paper or wood glue, making sure to get the glue in the edges of the folded parts. And then you can leave it under some heavy books to flatten it out as it dries. The next part is painting the things that pop up when you open the card. You can do this on the leftover watercolor paper you cut earlier. I'm making a house that's 7 centimeters or 2.7 inches wide, max 7 centimeters tall, so that it won't pop out of the card when it's folded and it won't completely obscure what's behind it. I'm also making a snowman that's max 4.5 centimeters or 1.8 inches tall and Christmas trees that are about 5 centimeters or 2 inches tall. I'm making a few marks for the heights and widths of the elements and then sketching them lightly with a pencil. You can use a ruler to get the house somewhat straight. I also inked the outlines with a waterproof pen so I could erase the wonky pencil sketches. And my micron pens are almost dead, so the outlines turned out very faint. Tape down the watercolor paper and color in those little sketches with watercolor. I added some shading on the house, especially under the roof, to hide my inking mistakes. While those are drying, we can neaten up the base of the card. The edges are not very clean, but we can hide them with washi tape or some other decorative tape. And that will hide the white borders of the watercolor painting too. And I'll add a Christmas greeting sticker in the front of the card. And then let's cut out the house, snowman and trees. And glue them on the steps we have in the folded card. 2 trees in the back, pressing them down for a while to let the glue dry a bit, and the house in front of them so that the trees are peeking from behind it, and 1 tree and the snowman in front of the house. And this is how it turned out. But if you want another watercolor holiday card idea, try this one next. See you there!